What is going on, everyone? My name is NW97 and welcome to another Destiny 2 Forsaken video. Today we're going to talk about tips and tricks on how to play the new PvP event, or really playlists, and that is Breakthrough. So, what is Breakthrough? Well, you first start off with, I don't know, the best thing I could come up with is your CPU, right? Each player has one, and there's an additional CPU in the middle. So, your goal is to go ahead and hack the CPU in the middle of the map, and then once you finish with that, you go ahead and invade the other player's CPU. So, how do you do this? It's kind of simple. You just go up and walk towards it, wait for about a minute or so, and then eventually you'll be able to go ahead and capture it. But here's the problem. There's lots of other enemies going ahead and trying to capture it slash defending it against you. And this could cause a lot of issues. And really this game is all about gridlock and how to fight against the gridlock and how to get rid of it in order to keep progressing. And that's really the goal of this game. It's all about it's all about flanking. It's all about surprising your opponents without them knowing that you're there. Getting into certain tactics where you can just go ahead and get to a certain area where you can just kill them without them noticing you. So it's all about tactics, it's all about sneaking upon your enemies, and really just teamwork with your teammates. So let's give you a couple of tips. Number one, don't use snipers at all. Okay, this is not a sniping game. Okay, your goal is to engage, not to eliminate. And it's kind of a strange thing. So your goal is to engage the the CPU, right? You want to capture that thing. That is your ultimate goal. It doesn't matter how many times you die or how many times that you killed enemies. Okay, as long as they're keeping you away from that CPU, they are winning. Okay, they're going to win if they keep you away from that CPU. You don't want that to happen. So, I mean, sure, you could use a sniper if they're trying to capture a command post or they're holding it and to eliminate them to clear it up. And if you're like, a godly sniper. But I'm just going by statistics, and nobody isn't exactly the best sniper in the game. That's kind of the goal. So don't use snipers. The best thing I could come up with if you want range is a scout rifle. I mean, sure, you could do that. Or you could use those full auto, high impact, high range auto rifles. I certainly am a big fan. Certainly not the best type of weapons, but I just have a lot of fun with them. Make sure you go ahead and hit your headshots with those weapons. So yeah, don't use snipers, but instead, for the exact opposite, use shotguns. Now, shotguns are certainly a really big use for this activity. So you could go ahead and take out a couple of enemies using shotguns, no problem. You can go ahead and flank, maneuver, literally just fly on top of people and shoot down from below. You could just go ahead and just take care of them. Shotguns are really good of taking out somebody really quickly, and it just brings out the point of time where you want to kill somebody as quickly as possible, and that's the goal here. If someone's on your post, you want to get them off immediately, and the shotgun is probably one of the best weapons to use, especially in this day and age where the meta is just shotguns and hand cannons. So I certainly like how the balance is with Destiny right now, where you can have variety. But again, if there's an efficient weapon, everyone is using it, and it's just a lot of fun. I've been enjoying the meta with Destiny Forsaken so far. Yeah, so use shotguns because you will go ahead and use them a lot. Number 3, use your abilities properly. So if you have a lot of people trying to catch a CPU, and there's like 4 of them at the same time, use a grenade. Use a pulse grenade, solar grenade, even arc bolt grenade to do some damage, and then finish them off with your primary. Go ahead and use your melee as soon as you hit your shotgun, and then you take them out with a melee, right? The best supers and abilities I could think of is, Warlock, the Warlock ability, the Rift, that's a very good ability. I'll probably recommend either really Empowering Rift or Healing Rift will be the best option. Honestly, I think Healing Rift is feels the most comfortable with me because not only you heal but you get an additional overshield as well, which gives you really good defense, especially if like all four people having an overshield all over them, so which makes you harder to kill. Um, Probably the best supers to use with this event, with this I keep saying calling event, it's a game mode. Um, is using supers that are stationary slash supers that take you out immediately. So roaming supers I don't recommend at all unless you're trying to lock down a position. Like for example, if you're watching the gameplay right now, I was using arc. I was using an arc warlock, which is the Stormcaller, and I was using it except that one time. I was using it to kind of push back the enemies away from the CPU. So I immediately engaged on them, used the super to keep them away from the CPU. Honestly, probably the best supers to use with this game mode is either the Sentinel Bubble. Just put down the bubble. You have armor of light. Boom. They can't get into you. And you could just use a shotgun. Hey, you can use the Destiny Fun Police strategy. No problem with that. So yeah, use shotguns and the defender bubble, and you're basically gonna be impenetrable. And there's gotta give you plenty of time to actually get through there. No problem. Another good super is Wall of Radiance. That certainly gives you a really big edge on your opponents. Just stay stationary, have plenty of healing, have plenty of attack going towards you, and you are good to go. Also, there are other supers that kill you like all at once. Like Nova Bomb is really good if you have all the people gathered together in one spot with a CPU, and you're gonna see that plenty of times in the game mode. Just use one Nova Bomb, boom, they're dead. You can even use Skull of Dire on Kara with those situations, so you can get your super again. And you could just keep on doing that so that they won't be able to just stack up there as much, and you could just separate them, which is honestly a very good tactic to use. So yeah, basically it's countering and countering. Countering. That sounds funny. Yeah, it's basically countering each other with supers and abilities. Like Hunter is certainly gonna have a good advantage, like because Blade Barrage is also an excellent super to use. Like Blade Barrage is basically the Nova Bomb for the Hunter. So Blade Barrage is definitely a good use for their super. For the Titan, probably the missile super is probably the best option. You could just come out of nowhere and just smash them down. Really high AoE, no problem. Really, just any Titan could just do it. Well, hammers are overall good. You could just go in there, just throw a hammer, boom. Like you can get at least 2 of them dead, no problem. And yeah, just use supers that kill them right away from far away range, or use the Sentinel Bubble or the Well of Radiance. What other advice I can give you? Really, just go ahead and flank, and just try to confuse your opponents on where you are. Take advantage of your radar. Information is key with this game mode. If you don't have information, you're going to lose. There's lots of timers in this game. You have to be patient. So if a CPU is not ready to get captured, you got to wait until it gets started. Make sure you go ahead and flank, and if you're able to, communicate with your teammates. If you want to charge, charge. If you want to hold back, hold back. Keep an eye on your enemies, see where they are going, and make sure flank. Flanking is so important in this game. So if you want to flank properly, go ahead and have like 2 people go on one side and 2 people the other, so they can all focus on one side but not the other. So it's really important. They can't have their full firepower going on you as long as you're flanking. So focus on everybody doing that, and also synchronize your supers. That is very important. So if you have one Arc Strider coming towards you and you try to damage him as much as possible, then you have like another Arc Strider coming towards you, then you're gonna have lots of problems with DPS against each one of those guys coming towards you. And also take advantage of exotics, especially like the Crown of Tempest with the Stormcaller. I don't know. Maybe you can get additional orbs with the Crest of Alpha Lupi, so other people could use their supers, stuff like that. Use the use the Wall of Radiance, take advantage of it. Have plenty of uses with that. And yeah, just go ahead and use your abilities properly. Go ahead and keep flanking, get information, and don't use snipers at all. I like the most I can recommend to you with high range weapons is like at most scout rifles. So yeah, that is it, guys. Hopefully you learn a thing or two on how to play Breakthrough, and hopefully I'll make at least one or two champions of this playthrough because of this video. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you go ahead to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Comment below on what do you think of Breakthrough and what kind of other playlists that you like to play the most in the Crucible. I might make a couple more videos on how to play with these events. There's certainly a lot more you could deal with, but that's really the main cause of this playlist. But anyway, guys, thank you guys. God bless. Goodbye. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Said that twice. Gosh darn it.